Ya estando la música ya empieza.
I love Micheladas.
Hi everybody, welcome once again to the I Love Micheladas show. Daniel Phoenix.
Fernando.
We got the main man right here, Hip Hop Craft The Show. That's the Instagram, at Hip Hop Craft The Show, right?
At Hip Hop Craft The Show. Obviously it's just Hip Hop Craft, but you know, Instagram was hating. I couldn't get just Hip Hop
Instagram,
Craft.
you gotta push that handle, dude. What do you think we have our handle front and center right here?
That is nice right there.
We gotta have it on there, man.
That is very nice right there. I'm honored to be on your show, by the way.
Hey,
Thank
listen, we're honored to have you on there. I'm a huge hip hop fan. And a little just so to get this part of the way, right? I was born in Mexico.
Okay.
Moved to the U.S.
What part of Mexico?
Oaxaca.
Oh, nice.
Born in Oaxaca.
Okay.
Moved to the U.S. when I was 7. When I moved here, you know, when you're young, you're just like trying on identities and all these things. You're insecure and all stuff. But like my kind of safety net was always music and hip hop. My parents were always working, so they're not around. So all the music I had around me was just like my friends were listening to.
Nice.
So it was just hip hop, and I had a stuttering problem. I used to stutter a lot. So my therapy.
So you
was,
couldn't be an MC, or you tried to be an MC?
No. My therapy was actually hip hop. Like I would listen to music, memorize the lyrics, and then just rap it back over and over and over again.
Nice.
And that's how I got over my stuttering. I always tell people hip hop saved my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's hip hop.
Yeah.
Right. That's hip hop. Nice.
How did you get into hip hop?
Well, same thing. You know, similar story. I grew up I was born in Guadalajara, Mexico.
Oh, okay.
When I was about maybe 4 years old, I came to the United States, and then I just grew up right here.
Yeah.
But that was a very long time ago. So my prime years was 88 and above. I moved to Compton in 1987, right in the heart of NWA, Big Daddy Kane, Two Life Crew.
And how old were you when
12.
12. So you were like
Yes.
listening to it as it was coming out.
Yeah, you know, I was literally going from elementary into junior high. So
Who was exposing you? Like siblings? Just this,
No, the neighborhood.
The neighborhood.
The neighborhood. Back then, people were actually connected. You were connected with the neighbors. You knew the kids in the neighborhood.
Yeah, you're connected.
You know, like,
Yeah.
because you go out and you actually
all
play.
IRL.
I mean, we didn't have any social media, so we actually had to go and do shit, you know? Sorry, I don't know if you could cuss.
I don't give a fuck.
So you had to actually go out and do stuff, and so you talk to the kids, and the kids are listening to stuff, and you start listening to it, and you start realizing, hey, you know, I like this music.
Yeah.
It's different from what I hear on the radio. Even though, you know, we're all influenced by music on the radio.
Yeah, whether you like to or not.
Yeah, whether you like to or not. But I really got into hip hop back in that time, and
Back when it was still niche, right?
back when, well, I mean,
Because right now it's the #1 genre in the U.S. Right?
yeah, but you know, hip hop's evolved so much now.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's different.
Where it's already evolved into separate genres and categories. So before, hip hop was just hip hop, whether you rapped, whether you were considered underground, it was still, you know, it was just hip hop. And then the media called it rap. The media started putting, you know, sub names to it. So now you get everything, you know, you have trap, you have reggaeton, you have, you know, a lot of different music that has been influenced, you know, from just hip hop.
How old were you when you started developing that voice of yours?
Oh, I don't know,
you got that
man.
baritone, man.
Well, you know, if this doesn't work out, I'm gonna get into voiceovers. That's what I'm gonna do.
Dude, that'll work out. We should like animate a little bottle. You can be the voice.
Oh, I could definitely be.
Yeah, you can be our.
I could
You
be
can
the
be
Michelada
you can be the
voice.
Michelada voice.
Yeah, and especially because I can do it in Spanish really well too. You know? Bienvenidos. Yo amo micheladas.
El show sobre nada.
Estamos con Fernando.
I like it, bro.
No,
So
yeah.
you actually, I was in Mexico 2 weeks ago, and I was in DF for like a half a day, and I walked by this brewery and I bought this, and I wanted to show you Hercules. I haven't tried it. I haven't tried any of their stuff. I showed you earlier. You said you wanted to try
I'm
it,
super excited
and
about
then you
this.
brought this one,
Yes.
which is hops from
Chapman.
Chapman
Yes.
Craft Beer. Where are they? Or Orange. Okay, Old Town
Yes.
Orange.
Yeah, they're right here,
Alright.
local brewery. They actually do a lot of good stuff, and they did a beer called Sir Thix-a-Lot, which is, you know, in reference to, you know, the homie from Seattle, Sir Mix-a-Lot, which goes back again to, you know, what craft brewers are already doing, right?
Yeah.
Sir Thix-a-Lot, and I just happen to pick up beers, and I enjoy them. I talk about how that reminds me of hip hop.
How did you get into the craft beer scene? Because people that I talk to in our community and grew up in, cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, peep the.
Oh my God.
Peep the little stout.
Oh man.
That's good.
This is really good.
Hercules. People.
Huracán.
Yeah. When I grew up, all my uncles, all they drank was Tecate, Pacifico. I moved here.
That's what I grew up in.
I mean, like.
Estrellas.
My dad was drinking like Mickey's. I think Mickey's was like the wildest thing.
Mickey's was the wildest thing. What's that other one called? Any malt liquor, really.
Every single Latino we've had on, who we ask what's like the first craft beer they got into, the answer is always Chimay.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, no.
That's everybody's like gateway into it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny because to me, I mean, it tastes like champagne.
Yeah, well, but it's like not beer.
It's kind of like now I can understand why those same people probably are drinking White Claws right now. Too. Shame on you.
What was your introduction to craft beer?
My introduction to craft beer was IPAs, and I started drinking Racer 5s, and I started drinking Stone, actually.
Oh, okay.
And this is from drinking, like Modelos, Estrellas.
You went straight from that into the IPAs?
No, I started drinking also other light beer. That was, what was that, Newcastle, Fat Tire. So those,
Belgian
tend
whites.
to be maybe like about 5%, which, wow, right?
But it still had like more of the flavor.
It still had more of a flavor.
Deeper profile.
And then that's when it was easier for me to transition into something like an IPA and really like the flavor of it and actually appreciate that I don't have to drink 12 beers in order to, actually feel cool. So that was in, God, I'm going to say maybe about 9 years ago.
Okay.
I moved to San Diego.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the beer scene has been big for a while.
Yeah, I moved to San Diego and I lived over there for about 2 years and I really got exposed to a lot of good beer. And see, I was working in hip hop during that time.
What were you doing?
15 years ago, I started managing a band.
Oh, okay.
And after about maybe 5 years, the band broke up, and then the guitar player from the band went to film school. He graduated, and then he hit me up and he goes, "Hey, let's start doing music videos. I'll direct them and I'll produce them." He wanted me to produce them. So for like about 7-10 years, we literally just did music videos for hip hop artists.
Dude, that was my childhood dream.
Really?
Yeah, making music videos for hip hop.
It's not all, but it's cracked down to
It's like everything.
Oh yeah, but it was fun because it really introduced me to a lot of people. I mean, I'm talking about 2011. We were.
Yeah. What videos were you producing?
Well, we took Planet Asia. To Rock the Bells in San Francisco in 2011, and we filmed the whole experience and the whole thing about being over there. And then
did that turn into a music video, or was that just like
into a music video?
What song was it?
Oh man, I can't even remember what song it was, but it was a Planet Asia song, obviously. And actually, it wasn't. It was a Gold Chain song with Tri-State, Planet Asia. It also had Montage 1. And I think Rogue was also in it. And from there, just, I started doing more and more videos for other people. In 2012, we went South by Southwest with Planet Asia again.
Damn.
And, from there, you start meeting people, people start talking to you, you start knowing them. We started a producer collective called Vinyl Villains.
Oh, okay.
And so we still kept on delivering music to artists, like Master Ace. We had tracks with Be Real, with like a lot of good artists.
During this time, I'm sure you were also traveling a lot, right? Because with music, you travel a lot because it's always like scenes and sets. Or was it all mainly like San Diego and LA?
It's mainly San Diego and LA with the occasional thing, that we went to New York to go film some stuff, or if we did a trip, for instance, like we did for South by Southwest, or we went to San Francisco. But it was, a lot of stuff happens right here in LA. If it's not in LA, it's in New York.
Did any of that traveling kind of bleed it together with your growth and appreciation of beer, where you're like traveling and?
So that happened last year. That in 2019, I went to a lot of major markets: Chicago, New York, Philly. I went to Albuquerque too, but that's not a mission market. But,
It's a dope market though. Albuquerque
there's
is
a
dope.
lot of beer. There's a
beer.
lot of beer in Albuquerque.
What were you doing last year that you were traveling so much?
I was doing it for work, and I wanted to, I wanted to know about what's going on other than California, because the show had already started, at least the idea of it.
Yeah.
We had already
The Hip Hop Craft Show.
The Hip Hop Craft Show. We had already filmed some stuff. We had already released some things, some pregame episodes, and then I went on the road, and it was for like about 3 months. And it was just like one state to another. I visited a lot of breweries. I saw a lot of beer. I saw how craft breweries represent themselves in other places other than California. And then I brought back about 50 or 60 beers. And that was the inception of the first bottle share and how it occurred. Because when I came back and I had all this beer, and I thought to myself, I'm like, well, man, what the fuck should I do with all this beer, right? And then I said,
Besides drink it.
Yeah, besides drink it. But then I thought, what other way than bringing the people that are already enjoying the show together and sharing it. Yeah. And then that's when Edgar from Beer Thug Life, he said, yeah, man, you should do a bottle share. And I said, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do a bottle share.
It's crazy.
And that's how the first one happened. And of course, like we were gonna do it Hip Hop Craft South, which is getting like some really hot DJs to come out and spin for people, and then just make it a complete event out of it, and not just people showing up and drinking, but actually people showing up, enjoying some music, and it music opens up conversations with people.
Where was the first one? At the same place where you got to the show?
Uncle Henry's, yes. Uncle Henry's has been
Uncle Henry's Deli.
Uncle Henry's, world famous Uncle Henry's, Downey, California. Check them out. 100 beers on tap.
I always wonder when people I drive down the street. There's like world famous this, world famous that. Like what? How do you earn that?
I coined it the world famous. All right. They don't self-proclaim themselves as world famous, but I think they are. I haven't been all over the world, but at least I've been to a lot of craft beer bars, and that one's not even a bar, it's a deli. It's a family place. You can take your kids there,
Bring the kids.
Yeah.
All right, well, you're a hip-hop guy. Your show's called Hip Hop Craft. What song would you say this beer tastes like?
Okay, interesting.
It's a challenge here.
Yeah. This one's a little bitter.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds to me a little DMX's. Angry, like he wants to yell at you.
I was telling my wife, I forgot where we were, and we were talking about like ad libs and stuff, and I was like, one of my favorite ad libs is from DMX.
DMX, yeah.
Says, I'm not a nice person. It's just random.
That dude was crazy, man. Like he would bark at you, and that's what this beer does. It barks at you.
Oh, I like it. Hercules from DF. Huracan, double IPA.
Definitely co-sign this right here. Hip Hop Craft approved. Right here. Stamp.
Well, let's try. Did you like micheladas? Are you a michelada dude?
I am.
You don't have to be.
No, I like micheladas.
I tell everybody, you don't have to like them. You just gotta try them.
And that's why I brought a West Coast, because I thought a West Coast would probably blend a lot
with
better.
The citrusy and the.
Yes, and not so much a hazy, because hazes are sweet, and I didn't know about how to blend the sweet with this.
We've done. I think you're our 31st guest, and we've had no beer that doesn't go well with it. The first guest is actually Javier Cabral. He's a food writer, and he brought on, I think a sour. What was it? Like something wild. Yeah,
I was almost gonna bring a sour too.
It was something wild from Portland, and it was good. But we're gonna actually try all of them. We're gonna make a michelada of both of them.
Oh, nice.
We won't go too hard. What are you into now in terms of hip hop? Are you still like the underground scene guy? Are you into like more you dabble in everything? What are you loving right now personally?
Me personally, I still love the same style of hip hop that I was listening to in the 90s. So I love what Griselda's doing right now with Benny the Butcher, Conway. I love what Crime Apple's doing right now. I love what anything that Alchemist puts his hands to. It seems like everything that man touches, just turns to gold.
Man.
Action Bronson. Mayhem Loran. And DJ Muggs just recently, started doing a lot of collaborations with a lot of people. Rock Marciano, of course. You know, I mean, it's funny to me when people tell me, you know, that there hasn't been any good hip hop in the past, you know, 20 years, because I could go year by year, you know, and I could, you know, show you some fire that, you know.
Cheers to hip hop.
Which, I don't even know.
This one's Hercules.
This one's Hercules.
And then this one is the one you brought, the hops.
All right.
So I'll do the Hercules to the hops.
Salud.
And there's our OG green mix.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah, right? Well, this is good. They're both good. Let me try the other one.
Wow.
Still good.
It's still good. You're putting crack in this, huh? That's what you're doing. That's why people actually, you know, like.
You know, through the growth of hip hop, do you still stay in touch with the mainstream, or are you like an anti-mainstream kind of person? Because you know, it's funny because I always tell people. I was telling Chris earlier. I was like, "Fuck, he's gonna show up. He's gonna be into like all these really good hip hop." And like, I grew up like self-admittedly like.
With what? Let me see.
Like, not bad hip hop, but it's just like at the time it was like ratchet, like right, like I grew up in like 3-6, Project Pat, Master P, like just
who
like
didn't listen to Master P though, man.
yeah.
You know.
But it was the stuff because I don't know. It was just I mean my favorite rapper is Jay-Z. I don't know how you feel about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't argue with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of people, depending on when they grew up, that's who their favorite rapper is going to be.
Yeah.
You know.
I have friends who are like, I tell them, they're like, fuck that, Nas all the way, and they're, you know, and I generally don't like conflict in general. So like I don't like the whole comparison and people saying like if you are this and you can't do that, or if you like hip hop. You know, like people who are like, how do you like hip hop and you like trap, or you know, like all that stuff.
Yeah, no, I really tried not to fall into that trap.
Yeah.
No pun intended, or pun intended. But I appreciate music just in general, right? So I could have a good conversation with somebody that's listened to Migos, that listens to Dizzy Wright, or you know, some of these new cats that well, Migos is new, but you know, some of this new music that's out there right now. And I could appreciate that argument. And I don't expect people to have the same perspective, you know, of what I consider, you know, great hip hop, you know, when Big L or, you know, DITC, Gangstar, like all of these influential, you know, bands that if it wasn't for them, you know, probably none of this would be out here right now too. So I don't hate on anything. You know, I welcome everybody, any style of music that you listen to. The reference hip hop doesn't just reference a very specific and literal group of people. The term hip hop is really intended for it to be inclusive of a lot of different things. I say that's hip hop for a lot of things. You know, you do something dope, I'm like, yo, that's hip hop. You know, like,
I love it.
So it's really more of the art and the idea of understanding that hip hop is a good term. It's a term of endearment, almost, of saying like, yo, you just did something dope. You know. So it's more about music and specifics of music. You know, just the same thing as beer. That's the reason why we have a bottle share. Imagine if we had a bottle share and I would say, oh, you could only bring IPAs.
Yeah.
Fuck your stout.
No, exactly. Yeah.
You know, like
that's what I was going to.
It's all beer,
like
right?
All these different styles.
And I might not even be a stout person, but I'm going to be all inclusive of everything because it's still craft beer. It's still the idea and the concept of bringing community together.
You know what we should do? We should do a bottle share and a record share, like a record swap day.
Yeah.
Are you into the record swap scene?
Yeah.
Are you a vinyl head?
Man, it really it brings back bad memories because I used to actually own over 400 records that I lost.
What happened?
Long story, but I ended up leaving them in a building that I couldn't get back into, and I got evicted. All right.
Does it involve a broken heart?
No, actually, it didn't involve a broken, except for my broken heart afterwards and not being able to get the records back. But yeah, I'm a huge vinyl head. That's why when we started that producer collective, Vinyl Villains, it was really, you know, it was about the idea of, you know, getting vinyl and flipping them and making music out of it. Yeah. So it's, I guess, maybe even ironic now that what I'm doing now is getting elements of hip hop, getting elements of craft beer, and sampling that and blending them in together into something completely new, you know, and fresh.
It's really, I really like it. What's your favorite hip hop pun you've seen in a beer name?
Oh man, there's so many good ones.
I know there's so many good ones.
McKellar did Misty Elliott.
Misty Elliott.
Like seriously, that was a nice one right there. Aerolage, obviously they do Ghost Haze Killer.
Well, Ghost Haze Killer.
Yeah, Ghost Haze Killer, and Ghostface co-signed it because I know he went to the brewery himself and he was part of that. But that's a really great one right there. Let me see which other ones. There was the All Haze on Me. That one's from Local Craft Beer. That one's a good one.
Bit of a stretch, but I like it.
Yeah, And they had a biggie one that I can't remember. It was called 10 Commandments, and I actually had a picture of Biggie there. But I can't remember the brewery for that one. There's just so many. Mixtape from Fall Brewing Company.
Yeah. Or even like as simple as like Mic Check from Boomtown.
Yeah. One of my favorite beers of 2019 was Mic Drop from Aerolage and Beto Vision.
Oh, okay.
They did a collaboration with Mo as well too, and it was Horchata Milkshake IPA. It was honestly blew my mind.
Horchata, what was it called?
It was Horchata Milkshake IPA. It was a Mic Drop.
Mic Drop.
Yes.
Damn.
I did a whole pregame episode on that. Go to Instagram, check it out.
It'll be linked right here. It'll be right on his face.
So yeah, I know there's a ton of beer references, and once I was drinking a whole bunch of that, and I just, my appreciation for craft beer, my love for hip hop, is what we decided. Let's just create something. There's got to be more than just me that likes this out there.
Yeah.
And bless all of you, because if you went to Sunday's Volume 3 bottle share, man, it humbles you, like when
all those people show up.
When all those people show up, and you're like, wow, like I literally just posted this not even 2 weeks ago, like, and people are here.
What's do you have a sort of timeline how often you want to do the bottle share events?
At first I did. At first I thought that we would do them every 2 months, but because of all your love and support, there's just a lot of things going on this year already.
Yeah.
First off, on the 29th, we're going to be in Vegas with Beer Zombies over there, and also Beer Thug Live. 17% Drip is going to be there as well. That's what we did the collaboration with the glass. That's a big event right there. And then in April 25th, Aerolage and Craft Beer Kings are holding their Best Buds event. Okay. And I guess I could say it already, but we're going to be hosting the VIP room right there. We're going to have Hip Hop Craft. I'm going to have House Shoes and Eyeball entertaining the VIP area for the 4 hours that they're going to be there. Come by, say hi,
When is it going to be?
Good music. That's going to be April 25th.
April 25th.
So right there, I can't have a bottle share in between those two things. I want people to show up to these other things. And then save the date. I can't really talk too much to specifics, or maybe I can say.
Well, this will be out like in what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Maybe in 3 weeks I have more. But June 20th, very huge event that I'm working in collaboration with Beer Thug Life and Beat Swap Meet.
Okay.
And that one.
The Compton event?
Definitely no.
Okay.
No. It's gonna be in Santa Ana. I guess I could say where it's gonna be, Santa Ana.
Okay, yeah. I think we're gonna be a part of that.
You should. Yes, you are gonna be a part of that. As a matter of fact, Edgar had already told me that.
Yeah.
You guys. So that's gonna be dope, because we'll have the VW bus. Because you guys will bring the VW bus. The record box truck is also gonna be there. So it's gonna be a great event. And I can't really say too much more than that, but soon you guys will find out.
It's going to be dope.
Definitely one of the best events that's going to happen. And somewhere in between, we have to go to New York. We're going to do something with the Sampler over there. Okay. The Sampler's a hip-hop craft beer bar that's in Bushwick.
Oh, shoot.
And
Dude, when you go, let me know. Maybe I'd love to fly out and meet the people, and we'll take the team.
Yes, we're thinking May. We're thinking somewhere in May, because we could squeeze it in right there. And that's going to be a good time, because we love our brothers over there. They've been, great supporters, and we want to do the same thing. We want to take the energy that we have over here. We're going to take it over there to the East Coast and let people know what's up.
Let people know what's happening.
Yeah.
Hip hop. Did you like when I trip out when I think about my first experience with hip hop, and I would always see it as so like it's like kind of like in the corners. And now that it's like big and how many that it's everywhere, it touches everybody's lives.
Oh yeah.
Like, did you imagine that when you were growing up? Like, were you like, yeah, that's gonna be huge?
It's funny because I remember giving a tape to my uncle, and it was License to Ill, Beastie Boys, and I gave it to him. And I said, listen to this, because all he would listen to is Led Zeppelin, The Doors. He was a huge classic rock fan. And I love classic rock too. I grew up also listening to classic rock. I love all music, not just hip hop, but hip hop is what I love. Anyway, so I gave him the tape, and he looks at it, he goes, man, nobody's going to know who the fuck these fools are in 15 years. All right? Yeah. Beastie Boys.
Beastie Boys.
No, man.
License to Ill. I mean, it's such a iconic album.
Yes. So, I didn't think, I couldn't imagine how big it was going to be, but I knew that I liked it enough where I sure hoped that it was going to be something that 20 years from now I can then introduce, License to Ill to my kids and then say, hey, yo, this is a classic album, and it is. It's definitely.
My homie Eduardo, he's an artist. Eduardo, he made the airplane. Like he made like a full, not full size, but like a replica of the airplane. Straight to the thing for an art show.
Really?
Really dope, yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That was really dope. I mean, there's so many things that, that you can think of hip hop and how it influenced you, in your own life, whether it had to do with, me with beer or just, just being around stuff. So trip out on this. 2012. We go to South by Southwest, right? Mm-hmm. And it's already, like a big event, South by Southwest, huge event. But we went to this one little club called Respect the West, and it was supposed to be like the hip hop club where all the hip hop artists were gonna, the underground hip hop artists, right? Mm-hmm. So it was the likes of Self Scientific. It was what was that? Crondon and oh God, I can't remember the group that he's in, and Planet Asia and some some really good names, right? Mm-hmm. So we're there and we're filming, we're experiencing and everything, and then all of a sudden this hype comes up, and this is a club that's like 200 people, right? Hype comes up, and this little guy jumps up on stage and starts just killing the stage, and then and I look at who he's with, and Planet Asia goes, oh yeah, that's Kendrick Lamar.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, oh shit, that's Kendrick. I'm like, I had kind of heard of him, right? But he was doing the little clap, like he had
Section 80 came out, like Section 80, it was like around that time.
Yeah, like he had not blown up yet. Like people knew of him, and he was headlining Respect the West, which was good, but he wasn't in the big huge stage, right? Next year, South by Southwest, he was playing the Red Bull stage, like in front of 20,000 people, man. And I was just like, whoa, like, dude, I was like this close, and I did not envision that. But it just goes to show you too, though, he put in a lot of work. He
did.
Is obviously super creative and talented, for the music that he makes.
He won a Pulitzer last year.
Yeah, so he's definitely well deserved, and it's those little things, that I experienced in hip hop that I just like, wow, I was there.
It trips me out because we had my homegirl works for LA Phil, Cynthia. And dude, I keep begging her to find out a way to get either Kendrick or SZA to play at Walt Disney Concert Hall with a full-on symphony. Because imagine SZA with a symphony, right? And I mean SZA is one of those things where it's a byproduct of hip hop. Yeah. It's a continuation of, but what we were talking about earlier, where it's there's so many other branches of it now.
Yeah, there's so many branches of it now. I mean, Kendrick himself is like a whole separate branch, because it's really. I don't think there's really anybody like him.
Yeah, no. And I mean, that's why he's so important, his voice, everything.
Yes, no, and the way that he decides, even though, he's not an old person, but he's still really, he sounds really well educated and
well, he's very centered. Yeah, he's very about his craft. He doesn't fuck around.
That's why.
Yeah.
And so he wasn't 2 Live Crew, right? Did you listen to 2 Live Crew growing up?
The 2 Live Crew was old school when I grew up.
Okay, yeah, it's definitely
not old school, but it was And I grew up a weird way because I
That was the first tape though that I don't want my mom to find though. You know, like I'm like hell no. Like if she found, that's like porn. You know, like imagine getting caught with porn. It was like.
Did your parents speak English?
Oh yeah.
My parents didn't speak English.
No.
So I can have anything, and until later on, like.
Well, my parent.
But you know, like my parents were never around. One, and they didn't speak English. So I remember my dad would be like, "What's his music about?" I'd be like, "I don't know, just about hanging out."
About hanging out. Yeah, about hanging out.
The first tape I ever bought, my introduction to hip hop was Gangsta's Paradise.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my aunt took me to Best Buy Music. No, Blockbuster Music.
Yeah, Blockbuster.
Like back in the day.
Yes, that's.
And she was like, "Buy whatever you want," and I bought a Gangsta's Paradise, but I didn't know it was a single. Like,
I didn't know. You thought it was a whole album.
I thought it was back. Yeah, and it was one song.
Yeah,
and one song and instrumental, and the clean version.
Wow.
So that's why I got into the habit of just one song, memorizing it, and.
Really? Yeah. Nice. It's interesting that it was Gangsta's Paradise that actually caught your attention.
I don't know why. Must have been Michelle Pfeiffer.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I don't blame you. Yeah, I don't blame you for that one.
No. Well, listen, thank you so much for coming by.
Hey, I appreciate you.
Where can people find more information about you?
Instagram, Hip Hop Craft the Show.
What's your personal?
It's called Hip Hop Craft Guy.
Hip Hop Craft Guy. Hip Hop Craft the Show. Listen, follow him. Go to the events.
Go to the events.
Really important. Really important. Support local craft.
Definitely, and support your local alcoholic.
Support your local alcoholic. Support your local MC. Support your local rapper.
Exactly. Yes, we're all about inclusion. Thank you so much. We love you.
Cheers.
Cheers.